I can see y'all in the mirror. All right. 0 people. Cool. So this 5-minute timer.
There's a 5-minute timer.
Until I start cooking. Because I have 1 person in here.
Me?
Huh?
Me?
Are you watching it?
Oh no. I'm IRL.
Yeah, you are. Hello? People? Ooh, a like. Ooh, 2 likes. How's it going? How y'all doing today? I'm going to give this about 5 minutes and start right at noon with the cooking. Let people get in here. Oh, man. Filters? I'm not going to do filters. So, instead of cooking in a van like I was going to, my friends so graciously let me use their kitchen. So now I have, it would be much easier to do all this. What's up, brother? First live that I've been able to catch. Awesome. Glad you're able to join it. Can you hear me okay? Cool. A few more minutes. Let some more people get in here before we get started. Yes, yes. Cool. Good. Has anybody ever made this recipe before? Hey there. Nope. Well, be all right. It's all pretty simple. Once you might have to do the hollandaise a couple times to get it right, but it's really not that bad once you kind of figure it out. A couple more minutes. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water real quick. There we go. I've not loved them though. No, but always love a good eggs Benedict. I like the pun. What do you serve it on? If bread, not. Oh, so on the original video, I take pork rinds and eggs like I do with pretty much every bread recipe I do. Put baking powder in it, and it kind of works out. It's a good texture, so it's kind of fluffy, especially while you're cooking it. So whenever you cook it, it rises, and once it starts to cool down, it starts slowly falling. So it gets a little dense over time, but if you make it fresh and you eat it pretty quickly, it's really nice. It's actually nice and fluffy. It'll be a English muffin. All right, 5 minutes is up. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. I'm making a carnivore eggs Benedict, as you see in the title. It will be a English muffin, which will be pork rinds and eggs, and then I will do poached eggs, and then I will do hollandaise. not necessarily in that order. I might just kind of do what feels right as it goes. But if you want to follow along, I don't really know. There's a if you search on my profile, there's a carnivore eggs Benedict recipe. You'll need eggs for sure, a little butter. You'll need pork rinds and then some sort of ham, whether it's Canadian bacon or prosciutto or something like that. I'm just using cheap packaged hams because it's the only thing I could find. But if you don't want to follow along, you just want to chill out and watch me cook, that's cool too. If you do make this at some point, I'll also put down the recipe video for this down in the description at some point after this video. So if you want to check that out and make it, you want to make it, send me a picture of it on Instagram and I'll repost it. Be happy to do that. I like seeing when people make my stuff. So, but anyways, let's get started. I'm just going to get this camera set up real quick, and it's going to be kind of moving a little bit. So if that's some motion sickness stuff for you, feel free to look away for a second. I serve mine on double bacon or ham. I've made your recipes before. It's delicious. Awesome. I'm glad you like making that stuff. This knife. All right. So for this, I'm going to start with the bun. I'm doing this all with my phone too, so it's a little strange. I'm trying to get it all situated in a normal way. All right, should be okay. Maybe. There we go. This will be for later. This is just optional green onions to top it with. I will be taking a picture of it for my cookbook, so I will be using those as well, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Will it stay? Okay. So right here I have ground pork rinds. This is about 3 cups. I'll be cooking for 3 people. This should make between 5 and 6 English muffins. And yeah, if you don't want to buy pre-ground pork rinds, you can always buy whatever your favorite brand is and blend them or throw them into a food processor and get them to, you know, roughly a floury consistency, a little bit lighter. This bag had a bunch of like really hard pieces in it, so it's going to be a little texturally different than what I want, but that's okay. Ooh, that was super crunchy. So if you want to use less pork rinds, you can do a ratio. So it would be 1 ounce. Wait, it would be 1 ounce of ground pork rinds per egg, and that's by weight. And so this is 6 ounces, so I'll be adding 6 eggs. And you want to do this first because you want these to kind of hydrate. They will, it'll be liquidy at first, and then once it sits in there, it'll be more of a batter consistency. 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, shell. 5, 6. Here. Don't know this kitchen very well. All right. Okay. Really basic. Oh, I need to add baking powder. So with your 1 ounce of pork rinds to 1 egg, you want to add about 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder to it. And for this, I have 3 cups. I will be adding, I'll probably add just about a teaspoon. About, much. That might be more than a teaspoon, but it's not going to hurt my fillings with making it fluffy. Okay. And out of all the things I've ever made with pork rinds and eggs, this is probably the most simple. I do the pizza crust that has like cheese and stuff like that in it, and it's more involved, like it involves cooked meat and stuff like that, but it does make for a little bit lighter of a crust. So this tends to be more dense. The only thing unfortunate about these is that they're huge, giant, hard pieces. So the finer you can get your pork rinds, the better it'll be. Okay, I'm just gonna let that kind of sit out, chill for a minute while I make hollandaise and transition this camera. There we go. Let's see if this is tall enough. So right now I have a double boiler going. That is a pot of water right here. It's kind of steaming with a bowl on top of it. And really you don't have to get the water boiling. You can just let it steam because it's going to be cooking the egg mixture. We'll do this over medium-low heat since it's already hot. And again, for hollandaise, it's about the ratios for me. I found that the smallest batch of hollandaise you can make would be with 2 egg yolks. So feel free to do whatever you want with that information. But for today, I'll be making hollandaise with 4 egg yolks and a stick of butter, which I need to grab. So basically I just have my butter cubed up pretty small, and I've got my egg yolks already separated to make this a little bit easier on me. So I'm going to have some lemon juice nearby too, because you need some acid to kind of denature the protein. So we'll start by adding in my 4 yolks. We'll hit of acid. There's about a half teaspoon worth of lemon juice. And then you'll just start whisking. And what we're looking for is for this to lighten in color, which means you're incorporating air. And for it to heat up so we can emulsify the butter into it. I've been waiting for a while for you to do pork rind dough. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. I did this recipe last year at some point, maybe last March, if I had to guess. So the bubbles in it, it means it's starting to get some air incorporated into it. And if it starts looking like you're cooking it, you can pick it up out of the pot. Kind of whisk it over it. I don't really see it. It doesn't look like mine's cooking. It's just foaming. But I've definitely had that issue before where I'm basically scrambling the eggs. Alright. I'm going to say that's pretty good. There's a bunch of bubbles in here and it looks foamy. So what I like to do is add my cold butter. And a lot of people add a little bit at a time. There's a chance that it will break if you add all of it at the same time. But I typically find that it's okay. And I'm probably going to eat those words since I'm live streaming. So basically all that's going to happen here is that the egg yolks and the butter will turn into a sauce and it's emulsified. Just keep whisking it. No, you really don't want to stop whisking this. It will burn or turn into egg yolks. And it's already kind of getting there, as you can see. Probably 70% there now. Kind of scrape the sides along as you do it. And if it does turn out that you kind of scramble it a little bit, you can always run it through a mesh strainer to pull out all those little egg bits. And it shouldn't affect the flavor. So I've had to do that before at a restaurant. Get overzealous trying to make hollandaise on a hot surface, and it just kind of gets ruined by turning into scrambled eggs. Oop. Bad whisk. There we go. It's pretty much there right now. I'm just looking for it to be a little more thick with 36 C's. You gonna cook for them today, Chef? How you doing? Oh no, I'm cooking for my friends that are letting me use their kitchen right now. And I'm pretty good. How are you? And that should be done. That's you can see the whisk kind of running through it. So since it's done, I've turned the heat off. I'm going to keep it on this pot of hot water to kind of keep it from solidifying. And I'm going to season it with a little salt as soon as I can figure out where to put it. Thanks. Just a couple pinches. Give that a taste. More salt. Oh, I suggest using unsalted butter for this as well. I kind of forget that people buy salted butter because I never do. So just be aware if you're going to salt it, you make sure you're using unsalted butter. All right, I'm gonna let that chill. So on the side, well, chill out, not chill. You don't want it cold. Next up, I'm going to make these poached eggs. Get that simmering. So the reason I don't use salted butter is because whenever you buy butter at the store, they're the same price. And I have salt at home. And so what you're doing is paying for less butter and in the packaging itself. So this stick of butter might have 2% salt in it. This stick of butter has 0% salt in it. That means I'm buying 2% more butter for the same price on the unsalted. I can salt whenever I need to, but I can't pull salt out. Does that make sense? I hope. Cool. I'm gonna let that sit out in the pot for a bit. Starting to cook a little too much. Thought I had this hotter, but I guess it didn't. There we go. So, where's everyone from? I'm trying to gauge as to where, or I'm trying to gauge as to when to do stuff like this so I can maximize the amount of people that are able to see it. Because I know a lot of people are overseas that follow me, and it's kind of hard to time that out. So if I could get just a couple people, that'd be cool. Just to kind of figure out where everyone's from, make this a little bit easier. Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, cool. Indiana, Michigan. Oh, Netherlands. Indiana. Detroit, Michigan. Canada. Arkansas. Okay, that's a pretty diverse little group here so far. A lot more, I guess it makes sense that it's Central Time and there's more people here from the same time zone. Alabama. All right, it's getting there. I just need it to simmer. I will go ahead and add a little bit of salt to it. And I think I'm gonna add just a little bit of water to my pork rind mixture because it is quite thick right now. Get a little more thicker than I wanted it to. So I'm gonna add probably 2 tablespoons worth. Just to kind of thin it out a little bit. Looks a little bit, yeah, that's much better actually. All right. Okay, I think that is a good little simmer. We don't need it to go crazy. So what I like to do for the poached eggs is to crack my egg into a bowl and then pour it into here. A lot of people use big tall pots of simmering water to poach their eggs. They'll, run a spoon through it to like make a tornado or whatever. And that does help. That helps wrap the little wispy ends of the egg around the entire thing. But I'm keeping it pretty easy. I like to use a nonstick pan if possible because it keeps it from sticking to the bottom, because what's going to happen is I will crack it, it'll fall to the bottom, and it'll be just kind of sitting there poaching. But if I'm using a regular pan, like an aluminum pan, sometimes it'll stick and I'll have to scrape it up, and that just raises the chances of me breaking the yolk. So I'm just going to get started with this. Dump that right there. I'm going to do a few of these at a time. Well, there goes a dozen eggs. And for poaching these, it takes anywhere from like 3 to 4 minutes, I usually find. And you can always poach them as hard as you want to, but the goal of the poached egg is to have a runny yolk. And it's supposed to be tender, nice and tender whites on there. I'm using a slotted spoon here too, because whenever I pull it later, I want it to be draining. It's a little bit stuck right there. I suppose I could be more patient and let them kind of break off themselves. North Idaho, nice. From Idaho, don't even eat potatoes? Whites are still pretty runny, you can see it right here. Alright, grab this one. Oop. Yeah, almost done. It's kind of hard to, if you've had fried eggs, you kind of know what the difference between the yolk and the undone whites are. Just got something there. And these aren't perfect. I'm not that worried about it. This pan isn't getting hot on that side. It's weird. This one's barely even cooking. Alright. Once you pull them out, you want to season them too. You get a little salt on there. We're going to try a better looking one as well, because these look a little sad. But egg whites just kind of broke off every one of them. Get all this out of here real quick. Alright. I'll go right in the middle with this one. Just kind of let it. There we go. We'll make this last one and then we will get started on the muffin part. I'll make more of these later. I'll make these for my friends for now, and I'll eat myself later. Right. Yeah, turn up the heat helped a little bit. It was a little too low before. It is difficult. It's actually not that difficult. It's just, it feels unnecessary. But I mean, I understand why you do it. It kind of helps encapsulate everything instead of just like this. That's why all this is here. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just lazy. All right, that's good enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, let's get this muffin made. Got a little pan here. I have it on medium-high heat right now. I'm gonna add just about a tablespoon of butter. Let that melt. Yeah, I don't have a microphone connected to this, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll invest in one of those at some point. Because I know if I put my Bluetooth headset in it, it'll be pretty bad. No, I'm at a friend's apartment. So I'm just going to take a ball of this, kind of flatten it out a little bit. Get some butter on it. I'll let that cook for a second. I'm also doing this off of my phone too, which doesn't help. If I had an actual streaming setup, it'd probably be better. Probably put too much butter. In fact, I did. It's like a crab cake, kind of. Get some of that out. It'll take a little bit to cook because usually I bake these, but I don't really feel like using an oven. Thank you. I'll turn it down a little bit, let it cook more. Just a little wet in the middle. It's also fun using an electric oven. I'm not used to it at all. I'm used to using gas. Not a great excuse, I know. All right. Let's see. If you press on it and any batter comes out, that means it's not quite done, but I don't really see any. I'm gonna go for about 30 more seconds and pull it. How long would you bake them in the oven at what tip? I'd probably cook these at 350 for probably about 10 minutes, maybe a little longer depending on the type of oven you have. If you have a convection oven, it's gonna take less time, but it may, I'd say batter too. So yeah. All right, that is done. Let's move everything back a little bit. I'm gonna transition to put this stuff here. A little cramped over here. There we go. Okay. that there. And like I said, I'll be using cheap ham. Just what it, like, this was 80 cents or that for this ham. Because I couldn't find prosciutto or Canadian bacon at Piggly Wiggly. So I had to compromise. Thank you. I wish it was mine. It is a nice looking knife. I like the handle a lot, and it actually feels really good to cut with. All right, like I said, it's going to be fluffy, but it'll kind of flatten out. It's already flattened out just a little bit. That's about the extent of how much it'll flatten. All right, let's cut this bad boy in half. Let's add some ham to each side. And you could really see how fluffy it gets. It's kind of wild. But it makes sense, the eggs kind of fluffing everything up. Okay, poached eggs. Come on. Some random egg whites. The hollandaise kind of thickened up just a touch. There. Take a spoon of hollandaise. Cape Cod, very nice. Add a little something red. This is my seasoning smokestack. A little color to it, a little extra flavor. A little greenery on it, just to brighten it up a little bit. And that's it. So we got the muffin, ham, poached egg, hollandaise. I think we're good. And I'm gonna get a little egg shot. Going back a bit, how do you feel about ACV instead of lemon juice? Apple cider vinegar is totally fine. All you need is a little bit of acid. Doesn't matter what the source is from. All it's there to do is help kind of break apart the protein within the egg. So, and it also balances the flavor because it's very rich. But yeah, there's some eggs Benedict. Let's give this a taste. So obviously you're not going to get the same texture you would from a real English muffin, but it's pretty close. Like it's very light considering how much it's just pork rinds, and pork rinds kind of feel heavy when you eat them. But this works very well. So if you've been missing this and you want to just enjoy things like this again, you should try this out. It's super easy. Well, it's easy based on your skill level. Some people are going to have an easier time with this than others. But I encourage you to at least try to make it. And like I said, if you do, send me a picture of it. But I think that'll do it for this one. For the next stream, if I do this again, I will make sure to get a microphone to plug in, maybe even a webcam instead of my phone, and do it off my computer to have, you know, just a little bit easier of a time to make it kind of work out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a like if you did. Share it around. Leave comments below if you are interested in seeing more stuff like this. And yeah, I'll see y'all soon. I'll have a video up on Thursday. Be looking forward to that. All right, you have a good one.